Hey plant people. So I don't know why I'm so obsessed with these like plant shopping videos right now, but I cannot stop watching them. Like, I don't know if it's like, I feel like it's just like the act of plant shopping is so much fun. Like, I like living vicariously through other people as they're plant shopping. Even though I go to like Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff myself all the time, like I'm still like obsessed with watching these videos. So I'm gonna make one and we are gonna go plant shopping together today. Just left the gym, so I'm very much a sweaty mess right now, but we're gonna be looking at like the plants mostly, so it'll be okay. So anyway, so I'm thinking I'm at Home Depot right now. This is probably like the worst time to film because it's a Saturday and it is so busy. But I want to go to Home Depot and Lowe's, and then we have an Ace Hardware too that I haven't been to in a while, that I got my Alocasia Regal shields from last year. So I do kind of want to check there and just kind of see what they have and stuff. If the audio and like the video quality is not the best, it's because I'm recording on my phone today, because I didn't want to like haul my camera around like as I'm filming at these places, especially when it's so busy. Like, not that I'm really like worried about filming out in public, like I'm just to that point where I'm like too old to care at this point. But I just like kind of worry about like making other people feel uncomfortable sometimes, or like put off by the fact that I'm like walking around filming or whatever. So I'm gonna do my best, and this is my first like plant shopping video, so we're just gonna kind of wing it, and hopefully this turns out okay. So like I said, I'm at Home Depot right now. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna see what they have. All right, y'all, just to disregard the cuts in this video, I had to go through and cut some stuff out just because I was like whipping my phone around like I was on a roller coaster or something. Like, filming, I keep forgetting that I'm filming, and then I'm just like whipping my phone around all over the place, and I was giving myself motion sickness from watching the video back. So it's gonna be cut in a few places, so just disregard that. This is kind of like right when you walk in the door at Home Depot. It's got kind of like your basic stuff. So it's got some of these like silvery syndapsis, like your ZZ plants. It's got a few calathea and like those caudex type palms over here too. All of these are around like $15.98 to $20. Here is another calathea and some raven ZZs. I'm just not a calathea person, honestly. This aglaonema I do actually really like. It's called like zebra feathers, I think. And I think that's one of the more interesting ones. But yeah, like calathea are just like really not my thing, honestly. Like, I've just had really bad experiences with them in the past, and like, oh, I just can't. Even these, like the prayer plants. I had a prayer plant that I was like super attached to. I think this is like the red band Maranta or something, red Maranta, something like that. But that prayer plant died, not shockingly. This was like right when I started collecting plants, and they're just kind of finicky, you know, and I just get in this phase where I have a bad experience with a plant and I'm just like put off by it for the rest of my life, potentially. So we're just avoiding those for now. But we got kind of like your basics over here. There were some Hoya. Got like your strawberry begonia. This was a really cool one. So this is a Jessenia pothos, and these actually had some really good variegation on them. I was somewhat tempted to get one of these, but I'm trying to not get plants that are very similar to plants that I already have, just because I have so many plants in my collection. And this is just so similar to me to like some of my marbled pothos that I already have. So I really did not want to buy a duplicate of this just because it was like a more yellowy variegation. But this one was gorgeous. Like, the variegation on this one was just so pretty, and it had some really big leaves, which was very attractive. And I was definitely debating on getting one, but I was like, this is me mentally telling myself in my head, like, Leslie, you just told yourself you were not going to get multiples of plants that look almost identical, so just put it back. Oh my god, these Hoya, these are Crimson Princess because it's the inner variegation. These were so pretty. Like, I already have this plant. I got mine from Home Depot. But these were like such a light green color. Every time that I've seen these, and even mine, it's more of like a darker green around the edges, but it was just such like a pale light green. They were so beautiful. And then of course they have their little like cactus type deal over here. I'm no means an expert, period, but like I'm just not the most knowledgeable with like cactus and succulents and stuff. I did really like these just because they're really cute and like fuzzy, and they have a little like brown on the outside. They were so cute, but not cute enough for me to make a purchase. And these are just like your typical, to me, all these look very similar, like as far as succulents go. Every now and then there will be one that like really pops out to me, but most of the time these just look like the same thing over and over. Which, I mean, I guess there's like lots of plants that you could say that about, honestly, but succulents just they don't do it for me. You know, they don't get me really interested. These were pretty cute, these little like succulent arrangements. Although for like, I can't remember what the price tag said, like $25 or something. That just is a little too expensive for me. These were pretty cool. These were like braided. Again, $25 seems a little overpriced in my opinion, but these were like braided snake plants. And I think these were like maybe the well-fin ones. Sansevieria snake plants. This is the same. And then this is like your little section of the Wick and Grow. This is a great little section for if you're like just getting into plants and you're like kind of experimenting and you don't want to invest like a ton of money on these guys when you're not sure if you can keep them alive. This one, y'all forgive me, I can like literally when I'm editing this video, I have to have for my computer to run the playback resolution at like half or a quarter. So I cannot read these freaking tags. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm just gonna do the best from memory, and if I say something different than what's on the tag, like just go by what's on the tag. But I like that first plant because it looked like fireflies is what I was gonna say. These are like some Paleas. Most of these are like $5.98, I believe, for most of the Wick and Grows. The bigger ones are like $7 or $9, so they're all under $10. So it's like a really good deal if you know you kind of want to get some little plants. I really like Paleas. This is a dark mystery. I actually do have one of these. It is like, obviously it's pretty common, right? If it's over here, it's like $5. But, and I see these all the time also. But I just think they're so cute and they're cool looking with their like little serrated leaves. That one was blooming, which, I mean, the blooms are not like the most interesting, but it was blooming for what it's worth. And these, I do not know what type of plant this is. It did not say it on the tag, but I was kind of entranced by this plant. I don't know why. It was definitely the only one with variegation. Like all the other ones were like the non-variegated version. This one had like a little bit of white variegation around the edges, which was really cute. But I just thought the stems was really interesting. How they have that like dappled black and white on the stems. And this is a larger version of that Palea Dark Mystery, I believe the name is. This one was, yep, $10, $9.98. And that one, I just think it's so pretty. It's really full. So it's full, it's in good condition. You get the pot also. So I think that's a good deal too, because I'm always needing like cash pots and stuff. Oh, and yeah, and they had some really good pothos here in the Wick and Grow, which was so exciting. Because like $5.98 for a little pothos. Like this one was like an Enjoy or a Pearls and Jade or something. But they're so cute, and you can only ever, or I can only ever find those in like the hanging planters and stuff, which are obviously more expensive. I think they're like $15 typically for the hanging planters, like at Lowe's and stuff. And this is just another little variegated plant. I don't know what this is, and I can't read the tag, so. Yeah, and then some little ivy. I've been so into ivy lately. I don't know what it is about the ivy, but I've just been super into it. I know that it kind of is bad about having pests, or it can be bad about having pests, but I'm just obsessed with it. Like I'm just taking the risk, and I'm not getting them like right on top of my other plants, and I'm just gonna kind of let it do its thing, and hopefully that does not mean that I'm gonna have a bunch of pests in my collection. Oh yeah, and I thought that was really cute. That was like a little tiny peace lily with a little bloom. And I was really surprised today at every location that I went to, the golden pothos were just like so pretty. I feel like most of the time I see golden pothos, they're like primarily green with just like a little dappled gold, but they actually had a lot of really good gold variegation on the ones today. And this is a little syngonium. This is a berry illusion. This is like one of your little cute basic syngoniums that you can find everywhere. I did have one of these at one point, but it was just like growing so out of control I couldn't deal with it. So now I just like, again, I just have a bad taste in my mouth from these syngonium because I don't know, I just have that bad experience where it was like I was so stressed out about it growing all over the place and I was like too guilty to get rid of it. So then I put it outside and it ended up dying from natural causes. So we just had to let that one go. And then yeah, we got more succulents over there. They had succulents all over the place. And this is another version of, I don't know if that's Berry Illusion too, but I loved these. Look at how chunky these little leaves are. They're so like round, and it reminds me of like the Mickey Mouse alocasia, how it's so like round and little chubby leaves. It's so cute. I'm not really into this syngonium, but like you can't not like those leaves. Like those leaves are so cute. I've never seen them that like short and round. And then of course they had, I don't know what the name of this one is. This is like the burgundy version of it, which I also had and was in the same boat as the Berry Illusion. So I don't know what happened to that one, honestly, only that I don't have it anymore. And more variegated, see, I'm just like, the variegated ivy, I'm just like super into that right now. So pretty. And crotons, I do not like crotons. I'm sorry if you're a croton lover. I don't know what it is. They just look like they're always like crunchy. Like they're just like crunchy and uncomfortable. That's how they make me feel. Oh, and this is surprising. So this is another really good pothos. They had some Manula pothos, which from my understanding, these are like somewhat difficult to find now, which I find very funny because this was one of my original plants that I'd purchased when I started getting into plants. But they had a few containers of the Manula pothos and they were really in really good condition. And this is a Moon Valley Polea. This was in my favorites video, actually. This is one of my favorite plants right now. I just think they're so pretty. And then more bromeliads. I'm telling you, like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be hateful or like against any type of plant, but the bromeliads, the crotons, I'm just so tired of seeing them. Those little like waffle plants. Oh my gosh. Y'all, like, is no one else tired of seeing? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just the hater. I'm the biggest hater. And more succulents. Now these were super cute. These were little like, these would be so fun to put in like a little, not necessarily like a closed terrarium, but like some type of little, kind of like how they had them combined in that little arrangement at the beginning. Like, but you could kind of build your own arrangement. And $3 each, like you could invest a few dollars in that to build it. And then of course more ZZ plants. This is another very common one. We see these all the time. This one was in the wrong pot. Like that said for some reason that it was like an Aglaonema or something. But that was a Raven ZZ. And I think all of these were like $15. I find it interesting that some of the more common ones like these, and like I saw some, I think like some Birkins and stuff further into the video that were in these, I think they're like Costiforms or whatever, for $15. And normally it used to be like always $19 for that size planter, but I guess the ones that are like not selling quite as much are kind of being reduced to like the $15 planters. See, this is another one, $15.98 for nice little palms. Sago palms over here too. I really like sago palms. I think they're really cute. And then of course our fiddle leaf figs, some more calathea. $15.98. See, that's like a pretty good price for that size planter. Like I said, they used to always be like $20. Like it doesn't matter what was in there. It was always $20 for that size planter. And then they did have some really pretty orchids too. And then these are just more More Raven ZZs. I have a couple of these, and this is just like, that's what they look like before they fade to that dark color, which I think is really pretty. I was just looking for price tags here. I've had the hardest time like finding these price tags, and it's on the bottom, $25. That is, I'm sorry, that I feel like that's overpriced for a ZZ plant. And these, I thought these were really cool. I think this is like a type of pothos, some silver pothos. I can't tell from this. But 1998, and it was really, really full, and it looked really healthy too. Oh yeah, and then the white knights. So I got my white knight here like quite a while ago, and I was so surprised to see that they like replenished the stock, because they were almost sold out when I got mine. So they must be selling pretty well. And of course, you know, these size pots, you get like 2 plants in there typically for $20, and that's a great deal. You know, they're pretty mature plants. And then we got some of these global green pothos, which are so pretty. I got a lemon meringue pothos, which is the opposite variegation, where it's like lighter on the outside and darker on the inside. But I don't know what happened. It just like totally rotted away. I'd gotten that one from Lowe's, and I had to cut it down to cuttings. So I've just got a bunch of cuttings in water right now, and hopefully those will reroot. And then of course you saw the typical Monstera palms, birds of paradise. They pretty much always have those. And Aglaonema over here, I thought this one was really pretty. I mean, you always see this like type of Aglaonema, but this one had like very, very, very red variegation, which I thought was pretty for that version. Again, Aglaonema I'm not like super into, but. And then the Birkin, they are bringing back the Birkin. I've not seen these for a little while. They used to be everywhere, and I think people just kind of got tired of them, honestly. And then we got some more orchids. Snake plants. Oh yeah, this is like one of the sadder carts of like the proven winners. This is, I feel like this is either like a pink dragon or an Ivory Coast alocasia because of the pink stem. And it was definitely not in the best condition, as you can see. But it is typically, like, I really like that alocasia because, of course, like, you know, I've said a million times, I'm super into, like, the pink. I think the pink stems are super cute. And this, I don't know, I feel like this is a tenanthe. But I really liked this. Like, you can't, obviously, you cannot feel this through the camera. But it is so fuzzy. The Lancelot, something... Calathea or Stramanthe, Lancelot, something like that. But it is so fuzzy and soft. Like, it is just like the softest feel. Oh my god, yeah, look at that, y'all. Like, that is like the it literally is like holding on by one little root. And then a Florida green, which is not in the best condition. Fiddly figs again. And then up here, I think this is also Stramanthe sanguina. I really like this one too, but again, like the Stramanthe, Tenanthe, Calathea, prayer plants, they are just on the no list for me, just because I don't want to get stressed out anymore. Like, I have like 300 plants almost, I think. Like, I just don't have the energy to be stressed out by Calathea right now. Oh yeah, and then the philodendron red sun. These are really pretty. They just look very similar to like Macaulay's Finale to me. And I have a pretty large Macaulay's Finale, so like, just don't find it necessary to have that one. And this, God, I cannot remember what those are called. Transcendia or something. And then more of those Tenanthe, and we've got some lemon lime philodendron in the back. This cart was not one of the ones that looked the best. Like, there were definitely other ones that looked significantly better. I did also like, these are those little, like, water globes. It says $19.98, but I think most of these were marked down to, like, $14.98. I think it's very bizarre that they're growing them in water like that. And this is just, like, a little cute little peperomia. I've got one of these, too, $5.98. I just love peperomia and that, like, variegation. More really nice variegation on the Hawaiian Golden pothos. We love that. And then they have their little bamboo more bromeliads, bamboo. And, you know, I'm talking about how I really dislike bromeliads, but this one was like actually really pretty. Like it had these little like tiny purple flowers coming in the middle. $25, and they're just kind of expensive, you know, like, but it was pretty, you know, with the leaf color, the little pink in the middle, the purple flowers. I would say I do somewhat like that one, you know, like that one's, she's okay. She's okay. And then over here, more crotons and bonsai trees, which are really cute. $30. You know, I always think like anthurium, like your normal anthurium. I always think like, I don't know, I had a very clear idea of what bonsai trees looked like, even though I have no experience with bonsai trees. I just had like this mental image of what bonsai trees look like. And I just feel like they're making like anything into a bonsai tree. Like some of these plants just look like a shrub that you get from outside, just like some random shrub that they're making into bonsai trees. But I mean, maybe that's the way that I don't know. Maybe that's the way that it is. And then these are more fiddly figs. Oh my God, y'all, look at the mealybugs. There's a mealybug colony. They have colonized this plant. Like there's so many mealybugs on that. I did not disturb them because I was like, you know, y'all are not my problem. But if someone buys that plant, they are in for a treat. They're going to get a lot of little friends. Oh yeah, this is a Ficus Benjamin, I think. Again, that's a really crispy calathea. See, that is what my calathea always look like. So we're not going to go down that road. And this is an Alocasia lauderobachia or something. I really, really want, one of my dream plants is a variegated version of one of those because they're so pretty. And then, of course, some philodendron Brazil. Oh yeah, what I was saying about the ficus. Like, I really, really like that white version of the Ficus Benjamin, and then they have the, like, greenish version also. And I was kind of, like, wanting to get one, but I have a Ficus Eldorado, which is kind of like that same leaf shape. And I just don't, again, like, the multiples of the same thing. This is pretty cool. So they had these staghorn ferns for $20. It's like $19.98. This one is for sword dance, is what they call this one. I don't know if it's known by another name. You know, like sometimes they like rename them into whatever their version of it is. But I love these. I actually just mounted a couple of my staghorn ferns, and it was so fun. Like it was not difficult at all for as expensive as they are to buy them mounted. So that may be a video that I make eventually. Like if I get another version of a staghorn fern, I'll show y'all how to mount them because it's so easy. Like do not overestimate it. Like you could totally mount it yourself. And you go, like, I literally went and thrifted, like, some wood for $3 at Goodwill and mounted it on that, and it cost me almost nothing. This is another cool one. So this is a philodendron brandantium. I believe that's how you say it. This one was not super common before, but now you're starting to see them, or I'm starting to see them pretty consistently in, like, Lowe's and Home Depot and stuff around here. And I actually kind of like that one. I was kind of at one point considering getting one when I first saw it there, but I was just like, again, the philodendron thing, you know, like I'm just like not super drawn to philodendron right now. And then we have more calathea, prayer plant type deal over there. And then on this side, we are loaded up with golden pothos. They are still like, see, like I just feel like the variegation is pretty good on these. Like, I feel like it's almost worth it. And then more of those exactly the same type of just those little like wick and grow plants. Oh, this is the good cart. So there were like a lot of really good finds on this. I was shook. So these are Alocasia longiloba. I keep wanting to call it long lobia, but I think it's like longiloba. But I love these. I have one of these, which is kind of struggling. But they are just so pretty and full. They had this Rojo Congo, which is in like the larger philodendron Rojo Congo, in these larger like bizarre water globes. I mean, I think they like aesthetically look good, but I don't know. I just feel like it's weird, right? To like just grow your plants in there all the time. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. So don't quote me on that. And then this is actually like a really nice looking full Florida green. These are Alocasia
cuculata, something like that. I have the variegated version of this, but it is so small. I was so shocked that these were so big. Like, I did not know that these got to the size that these did. Like, when I walked around the corner and I saw them, I was like, oh my God, like, is mine gonna get that big? Because that's awesome. You know, I love that, but like, I was not expecting it necessarily. Oh, and these fried eggs, y'all, they had the prettiest fried eggs. I really was really tempted to get one of these, but these like basket type ones, these are all $30. So I have the variegated version, and again, we are not buying multiples of the same plant, Leslie. We're not doing it. So I did leave it. I did not purchase this, but it is gorgeous, and they were in very good condition. They had a bunch of these gloriosum too, which were also in really good condition. Like, this cart must have just rolled in because it hadn't had time to like get messed up by people not knowing how to take care of these. And that's like, you know, no shade or anything. Like, it's not your job to know how to take care of these, but you know how it is. Like, they sit around there for a while and they start looking pretty rough. But yeah, look at how beautiful those leaves are. Like, I was just so enraptured by how velvety and dark those leaves were. And then a philodendron ring of fire. I should buy an additional one and just set it next to my like weird mutant one so it knows what it's supposed to look like. But I feel like that would be a waste of money, you know. Maybe if I could find one really cheap. This one's pretty cool. Ficus. I can't remember what it's called, like umbrella plant or something. I actually thought this was like a rock ficus to begin with, which is a plant that I really want, but it was not. And this is, what are you? Oh, this is like a burgundy ficus. Oh, and they had this really nice Zabrina. Like, this was a pretty large, they only had a couple of these, and I think I saw somebody else buying one. But these are fairly large Zabrina. Like, I would say these are like 2 or 3 feet tall. And pretty good leaf size. Like, I was very surprised by the good selection of alocasia we had. What a treat. And then this is another one of the carts. Like, this one did not look that great either. We had like some more of the red sun philodendron, some more of the Calathea stramanthe type deal, some more pothos and those little like water globes. This is another one of those white ficus, like Benjamin or whatever, that I'm like drawn to. Yeah, I think that would be like a really nice aesthetically pleasing plant. And now this one, you know, I'm not a Calathea prayer plant, tenanthe, whatever this is type person, but this was a beautiful plant. Like, look at how gorgeous that is, especially like both of them there together. I feel like you should buy both of them and put them on either side of something like a mirror or a door or something, and it'd be really pretty. And this is just another cart of the same thing. So we do have some like snake plants and stuff down here. $16.98 if you want a really big snake plant. And then this is like the larger plant size. So we have a lot of ZZ plants. We got some giant fiddly figs for $100. And then our big majesty palms, which are $40. Those make some really good outdoor plants also if you want something to look nice for the summer.
Guys, I am so shocked that they had so many good plants since the last time that I have come here. Like, I was very tempted by that very surprisingly healthy and large Friedeck, or whatever it's called. I think it has another name too now, but I have a variegated version, and I just feel like $30 is not really worth it to me for that specific plant. But it's a gorgeous plant. So like, if y'all are looking for a big Friedeck, I can't believe they had that size of the alocasia cuculata, I think that's how you say it, and the Zabrina that were in pretty reasonable shape. I have a variegated cuculata that grows really quickly, but it's, you know, it's probably like this big. It's not that large. I didn't even know that they got that large, which is kind of surprising. So maybe one day mine will get up to that point. And then they still have a lot of the white knights, which is surprising. I got my white knight here a while ago, and the fact that they still have them and they're all in pretty good health too, is really cool. I think the White Knight and the Red Anderson are my two favorites of that version. I've got like the White Knight, Red Anderson, White Princess, White Wizard, like all of those. I really like the White Red Anderson and the White Knight. Now I don't have a Red Anderson, but I do have the White Knight and I really like it. I also have the White Wizard. I don't have the White Princess either. But I just feel like they had a really good, surprisingly good selection of plants. And I come here pretty frequently, so I feel like whatever that Costa Farms, like Leaf Joy, whatever, like the sections that they have, has really hit today. Like, I'm really surprised by the plants that were in there. So we are going to next go into Ace Hardware on my way to Lowe's. I've not been in this Ace Hardware since like last year around this time, like spring, summerish. So I really have no idea what they had. They used to have a really good selection of like indoor plants too, but I know they've got a lot of their like outdoor type plants. But I found my Alocasia Regal Shields as like an outdoor plant in their outdoor section last year. So I'm kind of excited to go in there because I haven't been there in a while. And then after that, we are going to go into Lowe's because that is kind of like after the Ace Hardware. It's like a little bit farther down. So Ace Hardware first and then Lowe's. And so I will see you guys at Ace. And we are starting off strong as soon as we walk in the door. So we've got some Hoya Waiatii tricolor. I've got one of these. I also got one of these at Home Depot before. And then this is Hoya Greenlight, but these are, I'm fairly certain, just a Crimson Princess. But I love both of these Hoyas. They're really easy to care for. They're not too finicky. This one was really cool too. It is a cordyline, but I really liked this version. It had kind of like this chocolatey striping, and it was called like a pinstripe or something in pinstripes or something, which is really funny. And then we've got another one of the cordylines. I was kind of debating on getting this because I thought it was so pretty, but they end up getting fairly large, which I looked up, and I really just didn't want like a plant that large in that case. And this is, I'm fairly certain this is a philodendron painted lady and not an orange marmalade. I really love the painted lady. I would love to have one, but $30 for this was just, it just wasn't worth it to me for that specific plant. We've got some Pelea peperomites. They had a few of these, and I was checking for variegation because I actually really do want a variegated one of these because I don't have one at all. But of course I didn't have the variegated. The variegated versions are still kind of hard to find. And then, of course, some more Calathea. We've got some Syngonium down there, some pink Syngonium. Transcentia, however you say that. Got some Monstera, Deliciosa, $30, which was a little overpriced. And then these were like, it says double-edged sword, but I'm pretty sure this is just a jungle boogie, right? Like, this looks like the jungle boogie to me. Philodendron jungle boogie. And then just like an assortment of pothos. They did have these really, really cute peperomia. And as I've said before, I really love peperomia. And this one was so pretty. It was like this silvery color with kind of like a darker silver variegation. And they actually had a good bit of these. And I was kind of going through them to see just like some African violets up there, to see like if there was a better looking one, because this was one that I was kind of like thinking about purchasing. And they're $10. I feel like that's a pretty good price for these little smaller ones. They had a lot of like pothos for $10, peperomia for $10. I think those Hoya were $10 also. And then, yeah, that one looks way, way better. See, isn't that variegation is just like so cute. And I was carrying around for me because I was thinking about getting it. And then some type of bird's nest fern, maybe. I'm not super well versed on ferns. They actually had a
really good selection of plants. I was not expecting them to have this good of a selection. These are some more of those golden pothos. And again, just I feel like the variegation on these has just been really good recently, like much better than it used to be. And this is maidenhair fern, maybe? And I thought this was some version of those like polka dot plants. And I really like the coloration, like the contrast between the hot pink and that kind of like lime green color. You had some more like African violets down there, pothos, some more of the philodendron, painted lady, rattlesnake calathea, I believe. These, y'all, I really, really liked these. If they were not $30, I would have gotten them because I just feel like that's a little expensive. You can sometimes find these at Lowe's and stuff too for like $15 or $20 from what I remember. But these are Homolamina camouflage. They may have another name too. That's just what I've seen them referred to. And I just think they're so cool. Like I really like Homolamina. These are some philodendron soderoy. These are another one. They kind of give me the same vibes as the brandantium. Brandantium. I think they're really pretty. And they had a few of those. Again, it just seems like these are like a really good selection of plants. But this one, y'all, was variegated. And I know like I've seen the variegated soderoy like on Etsy and stuff pretty frequently. But it is just really pretty in real life, like to see that variegation on there. And I did pick it up because I was thinking about getting it because they had it marked as a pothos. So $10 for like, it had a bunch of growth points on it. It was variegated. Like, I feel like it was a pretty good deal. Got some more of these like Enjoy / Pearls and Jade. I always have a hard time determining which is which. Marble Queen pothos. $10. That's just a really good deal. And I've seen this peperomia kind of popping up. And I really love this one, but it's just like one ring of variegation away from like 2 peperomia that I already have. So I was like, I'm not getting this peperomia that looks almost identical. Like I'm paying again for just like an additional ring of variegation. Like I've just got to make smarter choices. And they did have some Alocasia Ninja, which I think are cute. They're kind of like a more consolidated black velvet, I feel like. And I did, of course, I went through and I checked everybody for variegation because I was feeling like super lucky with my variegated soderoy. But of course, nobody had any variegation. And this is Alocasia Dragonite on it. I did really think these were super cool. They have kind of like this, like their leaves are really, really thick. And it's kind of like really firm, like bumpy texture to the leaves. Like super, super firm. And I thought they were really nice, but I'm not really, if it's not variegated, I'm just not really interested in it at this point because I have so many Alocasia that are just kind of stacking up. But these were really pretty, and I do like the name Dragonite, even if that is not the scientifically correct name.
Okay, so I just left Ace Hardware, and babe, if you are watching this, just like skip past this part. Just skip like a minute forward, okay? Because there's like nothing important in this part. Okay, so I bought 2 plants. I'm not supposed to be buying plants right now, but I did get 2 plants. They were only $10 though, so I feel like, you know, it's not like that bad. The first one that I got was this kind of like silvery variegated peperomia. I just love peperomia so much, and I loved this leaf shape and just like how like minty it looked with that like kind of like darker variegation. So I got that one, and then they had I'm fairly certain this is a philodendron soderoy, but they had it marked as pothos for $10, and they had a variegated one, which the variegated version of the soderoy is not like a super duper rare plant, but I would say, I mean, it's like uncommon, you know. And for $10 for one that's like, this is like, has so, oops, my phone fell over. But this one has like so many growth points on it. And one of the growth points does have some really nice variegation. So I was like, you know, $10, like, and you can see the variegation on this one. And it is a really cute plant. And like I said, philodendrons aren't really like generating the most interest for me lately. So I thought since this one, like, I really liked this one, I'd just go for it. And I was kind of thinking of like the brandantium or something too, because they had that at Home Depot for like $15 or $20. But I just didn't like it as much. And the fact that this was like variegated, like, you just can't not like that, right? Like, it's super cute. $10. And it is in really bad soil, so I am going to repot this like as soon as I get home. Okay, so next we're going to Lowe's, which is right down the street, but I'm not buying anything. I'm not buying anything. We're just looking. We're just looking. We have plants at home, okay? Okay. Okay, guys, we are at our third and final stop, and Lowe's typically for me is like the best in terms of the plant selection typically, and it really did not disappoint today. When you come in, you do have a lot of like your typical plants right at the start here. This is a Dieffenbachia, I believe, like a larger Dieffenbachia for $30. And I have a lot of snake plants here, some monstera, some bromeliads, like your typical stuff here on that first row. Some pretty large monstera for $27, although I feel like you can get them cheaper now. And they had on this side again, like more like fiddly fig, monstera, some aglaonema. I did not realize while I was there, but I realized now watching it back, that was actually next to this calathea was a homolamina, like green emerald or something. And that's another, like, I just really like homolamina, but that's not really one that I'm specifically looking for. I would much prefer like the camouflage. And then we've got this is a silver bay. I don't know if it's an aglaonema or a Dieffenbachia, but I know that it is a silver bay. I actually have one of these. This is one of my neglected plants that I have upstairs in my boyfriend's office. And then more fiddly figs. That was a really, look how big this leaf is on this golden pothos. Like, that's just like a really nice, round, crisp leaf. We got some Baltic blue pothos, some more calathea. Now this was like a really, really cool find. I did not get one because I'm not looking for any more ZZ plants right now, but this is a chameleon ZZ. And not only that, but like the coloration on these was like just superb. Like they are so vibrant. They have so much yellow on them. And they do kind of like fade into the green as they get older, but they were just so pretty. Like I've seen them a lot, but typically their coloration is not nearly that vibrant. And then into this area, this is kind of like your typical, we're back to that same like wick and grow type deal. A lot of common plants here as far as like the polka dot plants, some plain green peperomia. Got some more crotons, which are just the best. So we have like some begonias and stuff in there. This is really cool. This is like another one of those I can't ever say this name right, Transcantia. This is like the teddy bear one, and I don't really like that type of plant, but I do really like this teddy bear one because it's just like so soft and nice. This is kind of like a crusty looking begonia, but it is like, it could be pretty. Like, you know, if you just gave it a little bit of love and care, it could be a really beautiful plant. And they were really full on those hanging baskets up there. They had a lot of, like, this is some variegated ivy. Again, like, I'm just, this ivy is just, like, so pretty to me right now. They had a lot of, like, lipstick plants and stuff like that. These are, like, some little ferns and golden pothos, peace lilies. Just, like, your typical wick and grow. I feel like you can always find these, like, year-round, pretty much. They did have some more of those like red type aglaonemas around the bend there. They did have a good selection of African violets. Now I do think like the variegated African violets are really beautiful. I would be interested in getting one of those. These are kind of like your typical standard version of anthurium. I think those were like $16. Some more golden pothos. They did also have some
Rhaphidophora tetrasperma around the corner as well that I didn't show. And this, I thought this was just like such a beautiful specimen of a heartleaf philodendron. There was not a tag on this, but the other macrame hangers that were similar to this were around $25. I just thought the growth pattern on that one was really, really pretty. And this is an aglaonema that I actually do really like. This kind of reminds me of like the philodendron silver sword, kind of like that minty silvery coloration. And I do like the kind of like creamy veining on that as well. And these were really, really nice. If you like Hoyas, like lipstick plants, to me, like their growth pattern and everything is like very, very similar, but their flowers are quite different. But they did have some variegated lipstick plants here. And these were actually fairly variegated. Like you could actually visibly see the variegation on these. Typically when you find these, they say variegated, but they really do not have much, if any, variegation on them. But the variegation on those was really, really nice. And again, this is a Pearls and Jade or an Enjoy. And those were, yeah, this is one of those like macrame baskets that's 25. So I feel like that other one's probably around the same pricing. And some neon pothos, some more ferns. That was another heartleaf philodendron, some more of the teddy bear guys up there. This was a really, really nice Syndapsis. I'm not really, like, Syndapsis are not my favorite, but this was a really nice specimen. Like, I feel like this was like a very lush hanging basket and it was in really good condition. Some more of those waffle plants up there. And then we can see we've got some like heartleaf philodendron, Moon Valley Polea, which are one of the ones that I really like. Variegated ivy. So this is like a lot of this, y'all, is just going to be the same. I feel like these Wiccan grows, 90% of the plants are going to be the same between Home Depot and Lowe's, but you'll have about like a 10% variance. So you will have like a few uncommon plants that pop up here and there. Like we had the Manula pothos at Home Depot, which was really nice. These are all like, okay, listen, like how are there enough people buying these to justify the supply that is always here? Like there's no way they're selling all of those plants before they die from neglect out of here. Like it just seems absurd to me that they like are that stocked on those plants. Like, are there really that many people that are buying those to keep up that demand? That just seems crazy. These are some different Dieffenbachia. I think this one's a Delilah because I did have that one at one point, but that was one that I let go. And these are some more Polea, polka dot plants, more Dieffenbachia. On this side, some more, like, geez, look at all these hanging baskets. That's crazy. This is just like another standard version of ivy. This one is not variegated, but it is still really pretty. This one, what is this one? Oh, this one was one that it didn't have a, like, see, it's just a specialty house plant on it. It doesn't really have, like, a name, but it was $12, but I just thought that one looked so healthy and, like, glossy and shiny. It's kind of tempting to get that one, even though I didn't really know what it was, just because it looks so nice. We got some, this is a really nice hanging basket of neon pothos that was very, very full. And this one, I'm not familiar with this one either. This kind of gave me like a begonia vibe, flame violet. It looks kind of like a Transantia, whatever, crossed with a begonia is kind of what it reminds me of. And I think the growth pattern looks kind of cool. Like the way, I don't know if it's supposed to be in this hanging planter, but the way it's kind of like hanging down and growing looks kind of interesting. And this was like one of the prettiest Brazils I have ever seen. Like not only is it ultra healthy, but just look at how intense the variegation is on it. Just thought it was so pretty. We got the hanging basket. These are like $15 or $17. They did also have it over here in just like your standard little pots. This new wave of pots, like the designs on these is so cute. Like I just thought little rainbows was really cute. These are like $13, I believe. And then we've got a variegated Schefflera, which is a plant that I recently acquired from clearance. And it's just been a really happy, beautiful plant. I would definitely recommend that one. This is a Peperomia Jenny. This is another one that I have that I purchased from the Green Escape. And it was huge when I got it. Like I was surprised at how large it was. We've got an Alocasia Amazonica Polly, I believe, over here. This one looks super healthy. This pot was $25. But it is a really cute pot too, in addition to, yeah, I was being a little chaotic here. I was like knocking everything over. $18 for those snake plants is absolutely absurd. Those little snake plants, there we go, knocking stuff over again. This is like a philodendron moonlight here on the end. That one's $14. I have a philodendron moonlight, and they are very pretty. Like those very lime colored leaves that fade to a darker green are very appealing as they grow out. A lot of whatever these are. Got a lemon, maybe a lemon lime philodendron or something there on the end. Got some more ferns. Oh, this is a fun one. So I ordered one of these a really long time ago. And this is a black pagoda lipstick plant. And this one is just gorgeous. Like, look at that variegation on the leaves, and like the underside of the leaves is really dark and variegated. More of the same, just little Wiccan grows. And then we've got some ficus over here. It looks like a ruby to me. These look so dry. It has been getting pretty hot. Like, it's been getting pretty hot here in Georgia, but like they're really dry. I did really like the combination of this money tree, this little like short stumpy money tree in this pot. Thought it was really nice. And then we've got a really pretty marble pothos, marble queen pothos. Different selection of ferns here. This is actually where I got my philodendron Macaulay's Finale, which is what this is. However, this one looks like super crusty. Like, it's definitely not living its best life down there. And they are $25. So, I mean, it might be a nice like rehab project because it is like a really full philodendron, and mine's growing like crazy right now, but it is kind of crusty for that price. Yeah, see, we got some more brandantium here, which are just, that's really cute to have it in the hanging pot. Like, I can definitely see that. That may not be their growth pattern, but it does look very appealing in that hanging pot. And then this is, I think this is some other type of lipstick plant. They have a lot of the cute little planters here on the end, like the air plants and the like little terrariums for air plants. Got some more bonsais. Lots of bonsais, money trees. We've got the cute little like braided bamboo. And I always check the money trees for variegation, but I've never found any until today. So this was such a nice surprise. It's a variegated money tree. So this has like 4 stumps twisted together, and one of the stumps is variegated, and it's $15. So I did end up getting this, and I split it up. I split the 2 that had variegation on them and put them in a pot, and then actually, it was 5. There were 5 plants in there. So I put the 2 that had variegation in one pot, and then the other 3 that did not have variegation in another pot, just so that they're not like choking each other out in there. This is just like a better shot of that variegation, which is really nice. So yeah, we're gonna hope that one does pretty well, and I'll give y'all an update on that later. This is just kind of like a table of those same calathea we've been seeing. Snake plants. This is kind of cool. Aglaonema. I think this is like one of the newer ones that Costa Farm has put out. And initially I was really like into it, and I was thinking about getting it, but it just feels like a plant that I'm going to lose interest in. And this is something I was interested in finding here. So these are the new like self-watering planters Live Trends has put out, and they're like $19. They're $18.98 or something. And they have just put out such a nice selection with these. Like, not only is that a very fair price for these really cute planters, but the plants in them are just like super healthy, and you've got a really good selection over here. So we've got like some neon pothos, some really pretty marble queen pothos, some philodendron Brazil. Down here, these are only $14.98, so $15. We've got some really pretty alocasia dragon scales. Of course, I did go through and check everybody for variegation, and there was not none. There was not any. I ran out of my luck with the variegated money tree on that one. And this was another place that was tempting me with the Marantas. They are so pretty. Like, these 2 were just gorgeous. But again, I'm just like not trying to stress myself out anymore right now, so I just kind of moved those out of the way so no one would trample over them. And we have some really cute alocasia bambinos. I do have a variegated version of this too, so I really didn't want to like double up, as I've been saying. I think this is a coffee plant and some cute ficus. Another type of either calathea or prayer plant. And then this is really cute. So this is a philodendron summer glory. I do have one of these. They grow really quickly and they get super large. So that is a really fun one. And then a really pretty money tree. So this one looked a lot more perky than the one that I had. But of course it was not variegated. So I did have to go with the variegated one, obviously, because that was a good find. And then over here, of course, like we got the succulent cactus section, which I am not super knowledgeable about. They do have a lot of a better cactus selection than Home Depot, I would say. They have these. These are my favorite. So these are like $13, and you get these little like triples. I did get one of these at some point to put outside that I have in one of my outside planters. And they have these really nice planters of jade for $13. You can sometimes find the variegated versions of that jade here, which are really beautiful. And this is the outside section, so I'm going to show y'all. They just have some of these like really pretty variegated plants, and they have these giant Stramanthe trio stars that I'm going to show you here on the other side for like $14, which I thought was just absurd. Like I remember the day and age when like I think I paid like $15 for like a little baby starter plant. It's just like so crazy to me that you can get in $13 for it. These giant Stramanthe trio stars for $13. That's crazy. And then we just got some really nice like planters of the polka dot plants and some nice succulents on the other side too that we're going to go through. I am going to go ahead and just kind of end the audio here because this is the end of the video that's coming up. And I really appreciate all y'all for tuning in and watching the video. Hopefully this was fun for you because it was super fun for me. And like I said, I really like watching these videos. And as I said, that new video that we're planning, the total collection video, either philodendron or anthurium, should be up later this week. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.